It started with a whisper, a single late-night message that most people ignored at first. A random text, a vague warning, a screenshot with no context. But by sunrise, that same whisper had exploded into a full-blown political earthquake. Because the name attached to it wasn't a random intern, wasn't a disgruntled donor, wasn't an anonymous troll. It was Erika Kirk. And the number next to her name wasn't small. $15 million. 15 million unaccounted for, unexplained, untraceable dollars allegedly connected to TPUSA operations. And somehow, someway, Erika's signature, her initials, or her approval stamp appeared next to transactions she swore she had nothing to do with. Within hours, the internet turned into a courtroom. Receipts everywhere. Hashtags flying. Commentators dissecting every sideways glance she ever gave in an interview. Political junkies pulling up years-old conference footage like it was forensic evidence. But the real explosion came when a verified insider, someone deep inside TPUSA's financial department, dropped the bombshell sentence that froze every timeline. They're already contacting the IRS. This isn't a rumor anymore. That one line tore the internet apart. Because the moment the IRS gets involved, the moment federal investigators start asking routine questions, the moment audits start expanding and subpoenas start flying, it means one thing. Somebody's lying, and somebody's getting caught. But here's the part nobody expected. The twist that made this scandal 10 times messier. Erika wasn't denying everything. She was denying just enough. Enough to make it suspicious, enough to make it look like she knew what was coming, enough to make it feel like she wasn't shocked. She was scared. And the people around her, they weren't defending her. They were going silent. Long before the $15 million rumor started creeping across anonymous group chats. Long before political Twitter woke up in flames. Long before Erika Kirk's name got thrown into the middle of one of the biggest conservative financial scandals in years. There were signs. Faint, subtle, almost invisible signs. The kind that people only recognize after everything blows up. People forget this part. Erika didn't just appear in the political world. She was ushered into it, introduced carefully, framed as polished, poised, glowing, the perfect example of modern conservative femininity. Beautiful, calm, composed. A diplomat without the title, a strategist without the official position. She wasn't supposed to be messy. She wasn't supposed to be in scandals. She wasn't supposed to get caught in any crossfire. But that's the thing about image. Sometimes it hides what people should have been watching the whole time. From the moment Erika slipped into the TPUSA ecosystem, people whispered about her influence. Not loud enough to be accusations, but clear enough to be warnings. She's close to the donors. She knows everyone. She's always in the room. She doesn't speak much, but she listens to everything. And most importantly, she's connected to the money. Most people assumed she was just a figurehead, a polished, PR-friendly personality meant to soften the brand's rough edges. But insiders knew better. The staffers who worked late nights. The assistants who saw names on spreadsheets. The interns sent to deliver envelopes. The volunteers told to act like they didn't hear that. They always said the same thing. Erika is deeper in this than she pretends. And for years, that suspicion just kind of floated around. Ignored. Brushed aside. Forgotten. Until now. Because when the first whispers of fund discrepancies surfaced, when donors started quietly asking why certain initiative budgets didn't match the public reports, everyone expected the blame to land on some accountant, some low-level staffer, some convenient scapegoat. But the name that kept popping up wasn't small. It wasn't random. It wasn't deniable. It was Erika. Her signature appeared on a transfer authorization she claimed she never approved. Her initials were listed next to a strategic allocation that nobody remembered discussing. Her schedule showed meetings with 2 donors who allegedly contributed to a fund that mysteriously vanished. And worst of all, her email was CC'd on internal conversations about reassigning resources, emails she now swears she never read. But the real beginning of this scandal wasn't in an office. It wasn't on a spreadsheet. It wasn't in some dark Patreon leak. It started at a gala. A gorgeous, glittering, high-end donor gala months ago. The kind where everyone pretends to be happy. Everyone pretends not to know the scandals, and everyone pretends their smiles aren't hiding desperation. Erika was glowing that night. Elegant dress, perfect hair, polite laugh, soft voice. She floated between tables like she'd been trained for this role since childhood. Cameras loved her. Donors adored her. Staffers admired her. She was the shining star, the future face, the next step for the brand. But someone at that gala, a donor, not a small one, noticed something. She didn't stay at her assigned table. She wasn't following the program. She kept slipping away from her security person. She kept disappearing into side rooms with certain executives. And at one point, she vanished for 23 minutes. Nobody ever talked about those 23 minutes. Not until now. Because the same donor who noticed it back then is the one who leaked the first screenshot this week. The donor who said, certain people knew where the money went. They just didn't think anyone else was watching. But the deeper you go into Erika's past, the messier it gets. Her marriage to Charlie Kirk didn't just tie her into his life. It tied her into his brand, his donors, his enemies, his ambitions, his ego, his scandals, his image, everything. And the role she played behind the scenes wasn't small. She was a bridge, a connector, a go-between, the person who could speak softly when Charlie spoke too loudly, the person donors trusted because she wasn't aggressive, the person executives approached because she seemed neutral. But neutrality is a lie. Every move she made was strategic. Every conversation she had was calculated. Every silence she kept was meaningful. And slowly, people began to realize Erika wasn't just present in the room. She was participating, influencing, approving, suggesting, overseeing. She wasn't decoration. She was involved. And now that $15 million is missing, people are remembering everything she touched. One former staffer posted anonymously, "She played innocent for years, but she was hands-on with almost every major project." A donor said, "I trusted her more than Charlie. That might have been my mistake." A political commentator tweeted, "This is going to get darker than people expect. Erika wasn't some side player." And the biggest red flag of all? When the story broke, every major TPUSA figure posted something vague. Praying for clarity. Some things are misunderstood. We trust the process. Please be patient. But not one person defended her directly. Not one person said, Erika is innocent. Not one person said, this is false. Silence is louder than accusations. Meanwhile, a second insider, someone even deeper, claimed, people are meeting behind closed doors. Panic is real. Erika was supposed to take the fall quietly. Now she's not cooperating. That sentence alone shifted the entire narrative. Wait, take the fall? Quietly? This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a clerical error. This wasn't a random glitch. Somebody expected a fall. Somebody planned for it. Somebody knew the scandal was coming. And they picked the person they wanted to blame. And now the IRS stepping in isn't just routine protocol. It means someone high-ranking is scared. Because when the IRS moves this fast, it means they already saw enough to start digging. And when they dig, they don't stop at Erika. They dig through every account, Every signature, every transfer, every decision. Every miscommunication, every suspicious meeting, every donor connection, every conference call, every late-night email, everything. And once they start pulling threads, the whole fabric comes undone. The scandal didn't explode all at once. It didn't come crashing down like a meteor from the sky. It cracked open slowly, like a hairline fracture spreading across glass until the entire thing shattered. And the moment the first real piece of evidence dropped, people didn't scream or panic right away. They went silent. Because what surfaced wasn't a rumor, wasn't a screenshot from a troll account, wasn't a vague accusation in a DM. It was a document. A real, official, internal TPUSA document. Time-stamped, watermarked, authenticated, showing a transfer of $2.4 million from a donor fund into a special projects allocation, with a note attached that sent shockwaves through the entire political community. Approved by EK, Erika Kirk, her initials, her sign-off, her approval. And the worst part wasn't that her initials were there. It was that the executive who leaked the document added a single sentence. Erika was the only person who could have authorized this. That one line flipped everything upside down, because people suddenly realized this wasn't misplaced money. This wasn't sloppy accounting. This wasn't a clerical error. This was intentional. That document spread online like wildfire. People analyzed every pixel, zoomed in on the signature, compared handwriting, compared timestamps, compared the approval font. People who never cared about politics were suddenly acting like forensic auditors. Twitter turned into an angry courtroom. This is fraud. She signed that amount? There's no way she didn't know. TPUSA is cooked. This is corruption. But the twist came when a former financial analyst from TPUSA, hiding behind a burner account of FUS, posted, "That 2.4 million transfer was just the first of several, and the totals add up to more than 15 million. More than 15 million. So now it wasn't just Erika being dragged. It was everyone connected to her. Politicians, donors, influencers, board members. People who had been quiet for months suddenly started posting prayers and clarity messages like they were preparing for a funeral. But Erika, she stayed dead silent. No tweets, no statements, no interviews, no denials. Just complete, deafening silence. Until she finally cracked. At 11:03 p.m., Erika posted a Notes app statement that felt rushed, panicked, and terrifyingly vague. "There have been misunderstandings regarding certain documents with my initials. I want transparency, but I'm also seeking legal guidance before commenting further." Legal guidance. Two words that signaled guilt to millions of viewers. People wrote, "Oh, she's done. Seeking legal guidance. She knows she's caught. She not even denying it. Charlie somewhere sweating." But while the internet was devouring that note, something else was happening behind the scenes. Something the public didn't see. Charlie Kirk was panicking. Not publicly. Publicly, he acted calm, distant, above the drama. But internally, the man was scrambling. Sources close to him leaked private messages showing he was calling board members, calling attorneys, calling PR firms, even calling donors directly to reassure them that everything is under control. But it wasn't. Because the IRS had already sent preliminary notices. Not official audits, not formal investigations, but preliminary inquiries. And everyone knows IRS preliminary inquiries are never harmless. They don't send inquiries unless they already have evidence. And the evidence they had? It didn't just point to Erika. It pointed to multiple people. One insider posted, "Erika wasn't acting alone. That's what scares them the most." Another said, "If she talks, it's over." And that is where the real conflict began. Because now the question wasn't, is Erika guilty? The question was, who else is she protecting? And behind closed doors, things got dark. Board members called emergency meetings, not in conference rooms, but in private homes. People shredded papers for privacy reasons. Assistants were told to delete emails to reduce digital clutter. Lawyers were flown in discreetly. One assistant, anonymously, said she saw two senior staffers arguing so loudly she thought someone would call security. She knows too much. She can't talk. She has to deny everything. If she flips, we all flip. Flip, the word people use when they're scared someone's going to turn against them. And suddenly Erika wasn't being treated like the golden girl anymore. She was being treated like a threat. But the first big twist hit when a new leak surfaced. Not from TPUSA staffers, but from donors. A private donor, someone who had been writing six-figure checks for years, released a voice recording from a closed-door meeting months ago. And in that recording, Erika is heard reassuring donors. The money is being put exactly where it needs to be. Some reallocations may look unusual, but trust me, everything is approved. Everything is approved. The internet exploded. People screamed, "She lied to donors. This is financial misconduct. Why was she even handling money? This is fraud." The recording continued. "We're moving fast. We're shifting funds. But it's all within the strategic plan." Strategic plan? What plan? Whose plan? Approved by who? And then came the sentence that set conservative media on fire. They, the board, don't need every detail. It's better if some things stay streamlined. Better if some things stay streamlined? That line alone felt like an admission of guilt. But this is where the twist deepens. Because right after that clip dropped, a second anonymous insider came forward with a text thread. A text thread between Erika and another high-ranking figure. And in the thread, Erika wrote, "Everything is moving, don't worry, but we need to keep my name minimal on the paperwork." Minimal. She didn't say, "Remove my name." She didn't say, "I didn't approve that." She said she wanted her name minimal. The internet went crazy. People wrote, "So she knew what was happening? She wanted to hide involvement. This is corruption 101. But the twist wasn't that she wrote it. The twist was who she wrote it to. Someone whose name wasn't blurred out. Someone the insider clearly wanted to expose. Someone higher than Erika. A board member, a strategist, a person even deeper in the financial decisions. But the internet wasn't ready for the next leak. The leak that truly destroyed Erika's image. A former financial consultant released a screenshot of a wire transfer authorization. Not signed, but requested. And the request said, "EK wants funds expedited. Signature to follow." EK wants funds expedited. Signature to follow. Meaning she didn't just sign things. She requested the transfers before signing them. People went insane. But here comes the first major twist. A donor, one of the biggest ones, stepped forward and said, "I didn't want my money in that fund. Erika persuaded me to do it. She said it was a short-term pivot." Pivot? And then he added, "And she wasn't alone when she pitched it." People froze. Erika wasn't acting alone. Someone was with her. Someone who stood beside her when convincing donors. Someone who had equal influence. Someone with power. And that's when the final twist of the section arrived. The twist that feels like a plot from a political thriller. A Zoom recording leaked. A staffer forgot to end the meeting. The camera stayed on. And someone whispered, "If Erika goes down, she won't go quietly. She'll take all of them with her." All of them. Not one, not two, not a small team. All of them. Meaning, Erika knows everything. Every deal, every secret, every donor promise, Every off-the-books meeting, every financial decision, every shady reallocation, every strategic pivot. And the people behind her? They know she's dangerous, because a panicking Erika Kirk could bring down the entire structure. The fallout from the leaked Zoom whisper didn't die down. It detonated. The moment the world heard that sentence, if Erika goes down, she won't go quietly. Everything accelerated like someone hit fast forward on a crisis that was already spiraling out of control. Because that sentence meant one thing. Erika wasn't the pawn. She wasn't the scapegoat. She wasn't the innocent bystander. She was the liability. A liability with access. A liability with knowledge. A liability with everything to lose. And TPUSA's biggest fear wasn't that Erika was guilty. It was that Erika was angry. Angry enough to finally tell the truth. Angry enough to expose others. Angry enough to commit the one unforgivable political sin, turning on her own. But before anyone could even blink, the IRS made their quiet, deadly move. No press conference, no flashy headlines, no sirens. Just a simple email landing in the inbox of TPUSA's legal counsel at 6:17 a.m. We are requesting verification of the following transactions. Verification. One word that sends chills through every political organization in America. Because when the IRS asks for verification, they're not looking for explanations. They're looking for lies. And the transactions listed totaled $15,087,000. The exact number circulating online. Every single reallocation. Every suspicious pivot. Every transfer Erika's initials touched. Every discrepancy donors complained about. And at the bottom of the request, a list of names. Not just Erika's. Not just low-level staffers. Not just accountants. Names of people who sat at the very top. One donor who had inside access said, "They're not just investigating Erika. They're investigating TPUSA as an entire structure." And that was the moment everything fractured. Inside TPUSA headquarters, panic didn't look like screaming. Panic didn't look like chaos. Panic didn't look like shouting. Panic looked like silence. People walking fast but talking low. Doors locked that were never locked before. Executives texting instead of speaking. Assistants shredding paperwork. Lawyers booking emergency flights. Someone posted anonymously, "I've never seen this place so scared." But in the middle of all this fear, Erika disappeared. Her phone, off, her socials, inactive, her email, auto-reply, her inner circle, quiet, her husband, avoiding every possible question. And that's when the public turned on Charlie Kirk. Because the internet demanded answers. Where is Charlie? Why is he hiding? Why isn't he defending his wife? If he's innocent, why is he silent? What does he know? News commentators roasted him. Charlie is usually loud about everything. Why is he mute now? Is this the one time he can't spin a narrative? Is Charlie distancing to save himself? But the real blow came when a staffer leaked something massively damaging. A private message from Charlie to a board member. "I told her not to get involved with these allocations. She didn't listen." Blame. Cold. Sharp. Direct. He threw Erika into the fire to protect himself. But the internet didn't buy it. Not for a second. People wrote, "How did she do this alone?" He knew. He benefited. If Erika goes down, Charlie goes with her. Politicians, influencers, conservative commentators. Suddenly they were all silent. Nobody wanted their name tied to this. Nobody wanted to pick the wrong side. But the silence cracked when someone leaked voice messages Erika sent to a friend the night the inquiry landed. The first message was shaky, breathless. "They're acting like I did everything. They're pretending I was the one who pushed for the reallocations. They told me it was approved. I don't understand what's happening." The second message, her voice broke. "Charlie told me to sign off. He told me it was fine. Now they're saying it wasn't? Now I'm the one who's guilty. They're making me the fall guy. I don't know what to do." The internet erupted. People screamed. Charlie set her up? He made her sign the paperwork? He let his wife take the fall? This is evil. He's saving himself. Commentators reacted instantly. This wasn't incompetence, this was orchestration. Erika wasn't a criminal, she was a shield. They used her, then abandoned her. But then came the shocking reveal that nobody saw coming. A former TPUSA executive leaked an internal memo, one that was never meant to see daylight. The memo described something called Strategic Financial Realignment Initiative. Phase 1. Phase 1. Meaning this wasn't accidental. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't sloppy bookkeeping. It was a plan, a multi-phase plan. And under authorized participants, only 2 names were listed. CK, EK, Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk, both, not one, both. Authorized, approved, listed, documented. The internet exploded with accusations. Charlie made her complicit. He used her as cover. She signed because she trusted him. He stabbed her in the back to protect TPUSA. But the final blow, the piece that turned this scandal into a political tragedy, came when a third leak surfaced. A clip, a secretly recorded conversation. Someone in the TPUSA office was recording audio during a tense closed-door meeting. And in that clip, you hear Erika crying, quietly, trying to keep her voice from breaking. As she says, "I thought we were a team. I thought we made decisions together. Why are you acting like you weren't there?" And Charlie responds, cold, calm, emotionless. "Because I wasn't, and you need to stop implying that I was." Erika didn't yell. She didn't plead. She didn't panic. She simply whispered, "You told me to sign everything." And Charlie replied, "You can't prove that." The internet lost its mind. He is evil. He gaslit his own wife. This is political betrayal. He's letting her take the fall alone. He threw her to the wolves. But the twist wasn't that Charlie denied it. The twist was the person who leaked the audio. It wasn't a staffer, wasn't an intern, wasn't a donor, wasn't a disgruntled member. It was someone from Erika's own circle, someone who wanted the truth out, someone who knew what Erika didn't. The IRS doesn't care about marriages. They don't care about alliances. They don't care about loyalty. They only care about the paper trail. And right now, the paper trail is damning for both Erika and Charlie. But here's the darkest part. The part the internet hasn't processed yet. TPUSA leadership believes Erika will flip. They believe she will testify. They believe she will expose everything. They believe she is too emotional, too betrayed, too cornered to protect them anymore. And insiders claim there is already a move happening behind the scenes. A coordinated effort to paint Erika as unstable, emotional, confused, unreliable, not credible, a psychological takedown, a character assassination, a strategy to discredit her before she talks. Because if Erika speaks, she won't take down one person. She might take down the entire organization. The reactions didn't just come in. They arrived like a violent storm, ripping through every platform, every news cycle, every political circle, every donor group chat, every conservative influencer thread, every Telegram channel, every Discord server, every anonymous forum. It was like the entire internet took a collective breath, saw the leaks, and then screamed. The conservatives were panicking. The liberals were celebrating. The centrists were confused. The donors were silent. And the political commentators? They were feeding on this like sharks in blood. The first explosion came from political Twitter. Big accounts, verified, loud, opinionated, started posting reactions within seconds of the audio leak hitting the timeline. One commentator tweeted, "If that recording is real, Charlie Kirk is finished." Another wrote, "This is not incompetence. This is conspiracy." A third account said, "I've covered scandals for years. I have never seen a political figure throw their own wife under the bus so violently." But the commentary didn't stop there. It spiraled into outright war. People clipped the audio of Erika crying. People clipped the audio of Charlie saying, "You can't prove that." People clipped the internal memo listing Phase 1. People clipped Erika begging for clarification, and every clip went viral. TikTok stitched the moment she whispered, "You told me to sign everything." Thousands of creators reacted with shock. "My jaw dropped. He gaslit his own wife? This is beyond politics now. This is betrayal. That man is dangerous." Somebody even added dramatic music under the whisper, and the clip hit 8 million views in 4 hours. But the storyline turned even uglier when conservative influencers, people who had defended Charlie for years, suddenly switched sides. One influencer posted, "I can't defend him on this, not even a little." Another wrote, "If Charlie allowed his wife to sign fraudulent documents and then blamed her, that's not leadership, that's sociopathy." Messages like that weren't coming from haters. They were coming from his own camp. The division was so sharp it felt like a digital civil war inside the conservative movement. Team Charlie, "We don't know if the leaks are real." Team Erika, "Charlie is guilty and he knows it." Team TPUSA, "Wait for statements." Team Nobody, "This whole organization is shady." Even YouTube political analysts, people who normally take weeks to react, went live instantly. This is career-ending. If the IRS confirms those documents, we're looking at multi-year litigation. Erika's silence is not innocence. It's legal strategy. But the most dramatic reaction came from a famous conservative commentator who posted, "This is bigger than Erika, bigger than Charlie. This is systemic." His tweet alone hit 11 million impressions. Meanwhile, donors, the backbone of the entire organization, started moving like a terrified herd. An anonymous donor posted, "I am pulling my funding immediately. This is deception." Another donor said, "I trusted Erika. I trusted Charlie. Now I don't trust anyone." Someone leaked a donor group chat message. "Freeze all outgoing funds until we know who's going to prison." Prison, not trouble. Not investigation, not audit. Prison. The panic wasn't about the scandal anymore. It was about the possibility that the IRS could find criminal intent. But while donors were freaking out, TPUSA leadership tried to act calm. A spokesperson gave a vague statement. "We are cooperating with all inquiries." That's when the internet erupted again. Cooperating. They're guilty. They're done. This is the same line every corrupt org uses. And then, the conservative news network that usually defends Charlie avoided the story entirely. People noticed immediately. Why isn't anyone covering this? Why are they protecting him? This silence is suspicious. Someone is blocking the story from being aired. But the silence didn't stop the smaller outlets. Independent journalists went crazy with coverage. One posted, "New evidence dropping tonight." Another hinted, "We have confirmed communication between multiple TPUSA executives. This goes deeper." The entire internet was waiting for the next leak like it was the Super Bowl halftime show. But during all this, Erika was gone. No lives, no PR statements, no tweets, no messages, no interviews, no sightings. The last time anyone saw her was before the audio leak, and the silence made people nervous. Was she hiding? Was she meeting with lawyers? Was she cutting a deal? Was she preparing to flip on everyone involved? Then a rumor dropped. She left the state. Another rumor. She's staying with someone outside the political circle. A third rumor. She's preparing to expose everything. And that rumor hit the right people, because suddenly, more insiders began leaking information in her favor. A whistleblower said, Erika wasn't in control of the funds. She was told to move money by people above her. Another posted, "They needed a clean face to front the decisions. She was chosen for optics." A third said, "Charlie made her sign documents at midnight so she wouldn't read them. Those leaks hit like bombs. The internet went wild. They used her. This is a setup. Erika is the fall person. She's the scapegoat." People started comparing this to political takedowns of the past, where organizations sacrifice one person to protect the whole operation. But the final major reaction wave came from a well-known conservative journalist who tweeted, "I have the next leak, and it's devastating." And they added, "It reveals who orchestrated the 15-minute shift, and it wasn't Erika." The timeline froze. People screamed, "Drop it now!" Who was it? It was Charlie, wasn't it? Who is behind this? The journalist didn't reveal the name, but they posted one more sentence. "The IRS will know soon," meaning the truth wasn't just a rumor. It was documented. And the final piece of this reaction section, the part that left everyone shaking, came from someone who used to work directly under Erika. They tweeted, "She didn't run. She didn't hide. She went to someone very powerful. Someone Charlie can't touch." Someone Charlie can't touch? Who? A senator, a DA, a federal attorney, a political rival, a mega donor? No one knew. But one thing was suddenly terrifyingly clear. Erika Kirk wasn't in danger. She was preparing for WAR. The entire political world was stretched to its limit. Every timeline shaking, every group chat exploding, every newsroom scrambling, waiting for that journalist to drop the devastating leak they'd teased. The anticipation felt like standing on a frozen lake, knowing the ice was cracking under your feet, but not knowing where it would split. And then, at exactly 4:12 p.m., they posted it. No commentary, no analysis, no warning, just one file, a PDF, titled Phase 1 Authorization Confidential. And when people opened it, the internet stopped, because the document didn't just list Erika's initials, and it didn't just list Charlie's. There was a third name, a senior TPUSA strategist, a high-ranking financial overseer, someone who had been invisible this entire time. And the signature next to primary authorization? It wasn't Erika, it wasn't Charlie, it was him. A man who had quietly controlled the biggest financial decisions, the donor allocations, the special projects, the travel budgets, the reassignments. A man who was always in the room but never in the scandal. Until now. The internet went feral. Who is this? He was the masterminds? Erika was set up by two people? Charlie wasn't even the top? This is a full-on conspiracy. But this wasn't even the twist. The journalist added a second file, an email attachment, with the subject line, Reallocation Plan, Final. And in the body of the email, sent from the strategist to Charlie, was one sentence. Have Erika sign this one as well. She trusts you. The world exploded. The comment sections melted into chaos. Oh my God. He told him to use her. They weaponized her trust. This is evil. They set her up to fall. Screenshots spread like wildfire. People began piecing the timeline together in real time. The strategist created the plan. Charlie approved it. Erika signed it. TPUSA executed it. Donors funded it. The IRS discovered it. And the entire organization tried to dump everything on Erika. But it got worse, because at the bottom of the email chain, someone replied. Someone who should have never been involved. Someone whose name made every political commentator stop breathing. A federal oversight liaison. A person connected to a government office. And their message, short, cold, terrifying. Confirm movement of funds before the quarter ends. Wait, a federal liaison knew about the movement, knew about the funds, knew about the Phase 1 reallocation, suddenly this wasn't just a TPUSA scandal. This was federal-level corruption. People panicked. The government was involved? This just turned into a national scandal. This is not just Erika or Charlie anymore. And then, as if perfectly timed, Erika finally reappeared. Not with a tweet. Not with a statement. Not with a Notes app apology. Not with a pray for us message. She walked straight into a federal building. Paparazzi caught her entering a U.S. attorney's office with 2 lawyers. Not 1. 2. Walking on either side of her like dark-suited bodyguards. Her face was pale but focused. Her jaw was tight. Her eyes were red but determined. And she walked like someone who had made a decision. If she wasn't being protected, she was going to protect herself. News outlets went insane. Erika Kirk arrives for federal meeting. Is she cooperating with investigators? Is Erika about to turn on TPUSA? Was she there to negotiate a deal? Speculation turned into hysteria. Even her closest allies posted cryptic messages like, "Sometimes loyalty can kill you. When people betray you, truth becomes your only weapon." Some women rise when men expect them to fall. Charlie didn't post anything. He didn't speak. He didn't go live. He didn't tweet. He was gone. But the strategist, the man whose signature showed up as primary authorization, released a short, shaky statement. "I had no involvement." Which was basically the digital equivalent of screaming, "I'm guilty," into a megaphone. Political analysts immediately caught the lie. You can't deny involvement when your signature is there. He is terrified. He knows Erika is talking. But the final nuclear moment, the cliffhanger that broke the internet, came from a federal leak, not an official statement, not a press release, not a legal filing, a leak, a quiet whisper to a journalist with a massive platform. The IRS is no longer focused on Erika. She's not the target anymore. Hold on, if Erika isn't the target, then who is? The journalist clarified. Investigators are shifting attention to the individuals above her. Above. Her. Not beside her, not below her, not equal to her, above. Meaning Charlie, the strategist, and possibly even that federal liaison. The internet begged for answers. Who is the new target? Is Charlie going down? Is the organization collapsing? Is Erika flipping on everyone? What did she tell them? The journalist ended with a single chilling line. Erika opened a door today, and once it opens, it doesn't close. The political world froze. Because if Erika talked, if Erika revealed everything, if Erika handed over documents, if Erika showed her private messages, if Erika played recordings, if Erika flipped, this isn't a scandal. This is the end of multiple careers, and the IRS hasn't even made their public move yet. After everything that just unfolded, after the leaked memos, after the forged signatures, after the donor tapes, after the shadow strategist was exposed, after Charlie's betrayal went public, after Erika walked into a federal building with 2 lawyers, and after investigators quietly confirmed, Erika is no longer the target. You have to stop and ask yourself, what happens now? Because the pieces aren't just falling apart, they're collapsing. If Erika isn't the target anymore, if the IRS is climbing up the ladder, if new names are emerging, if Phase 1 was only the beginning, if federal oversight was already involved, if Erika finally decided to save herself instead of saving Charlie, then who is about to be exposed next? Is the strategist going down? Is Charlie facing federal trouble? Is TPUSA about to implode? Is the IRS preparing criminal referrals? Is Erika flipping? Is she handing over documents? Is she naming every person who told her to sign anything? You tell me. Drop your theories below. I want to see. Who do you think was the mastermind? Who do you think gave the orders? Who do you think Erika met in that building? Was it a federal attorney, a prosecutor, a whistleblower coordinator, a negotiation team? Most importantly, is Part 2 about to be even worse? Tell me everything. Your theories, your predictions, your suspicions, your breakdowns, your outrage, your timeline analysis, your guesses about what Erika says behind closed doors. And don't forget, hit like, smash subscribe, turn your notifications on. Because when the next leak drops, when the IRS makes its first public move, when Erika's testimony surfaces, when the next name is exposed, you are not going to want to hear it secondhand. You'll want to be right here, the second the next chapter breaks.